All right. It is April 26th. For those of you watching online, this is the second time we've tried this.
Today is the 26th.
Yes, thank you, Siri. It is the 26th. Thank you very much. Okay, so we have 3 things planned for today. Review the reference sheet. Review how to formulate your scratch paper. This is what your reference sheet will look like. Review how to organize your scratch paper. And then we're going to review the tools that you're going to have access to during the test itself. I'm calling today the day to play, so that on Wednesday, when you come in here, you're ready to get right to work and you don't play around with all the buttons and all the tools, because there's all kinds of cool, fancy stuff that you can do. Okay? So today is the day to play. Here we go. Let's talk about this review sheet, or this reference sheet first. Okay. This reference sheet is a big deal. It is a huge blessing to you, and I want you to view it as such, okay? Here is what I want to show you first. First of all, this bottom portion here is a place value chart. This part in orange tells you what these places are. That is a huge benefit to some students, to know that this is the ones place, this is the tens place, this is the hundreds place, this is the thousands place. You have this at your disposal. This is huge, okay? You can understand. So if I ask you, what's the value of the 2, all you have to do is take your mind, put this number into your placed value chart. 1, 2, 8. If the 2 is worth 10, then the value of the 2 is 20. Very good. And so it's a huge advantage to you. Now, these numbers here in pink, these numbers, we would call them what? What kind of numbers are those? Kevin? Yeah, but if we have a number that goes on, huh?
The basics?
Yeah, sort of. Go on this side of the place value chart. What are those called, Aiden?
Whole numbers.
Whole numbers. Very good. All these numbers over here are your whole numbers. These here. Once you get over on this side of the place value chart,
Decimal.
we have decimals, and these numbers are greater than 1 or less than 1? Less than 1. These numbers are less than 1. So, keep that in mind. When you see, and if you can't see this great here in my class right now, you can look on your paper. What's the fraction right there? What place is this? What does that say, Jalen?
1/10.
1/10. That means this is the 10th place. And then this one here, this one is what, Dakota?
1/100.
1/100th, which means this is the 100th place. And this is the thousandth place, but you won't be needing that. You only need it for this mill part, okay? Now, here in the 10th place, 0.1 equals 1/10. If they show you 0.7, you can look at your reference sheet for reference.
It'll be 7/10.
And how would you write that?
7/10.
7/10. What about here? 0.01 equals 1/100th. So 0.06 is going to equal 6/100. Use your reference sheet for reference. Use it to help you remember how this decimal stuff works. Okay? Let's look at this top part. This here has some valuable information. Remember last week we had a story about kilometers and meters, and it was like Jason ran 7,000 meters to his grandma's house. How many kilometers was it?
It was 7.
It was 7. And how did you know that? Did you know that right away?
No.
No. What happened to help you realize that, Lily?
You read us the reference sheet.
I pulled up the reference sheet, and it was right there on the reference sheet. That's how I want this to go. One final thing I want to talk about on the reference sheet right here. 1 hour equals 60 minutes. If 1 hour equals 60 minutes, then 1 minute is going to equal 60 seconds. Yeah, I hope you guys just know that on your own, right?
Yeah.
This is your reference sheet. This is how you're going to use your reference sheet, okay? All right. Now, let's talk about your scratch paper. Well, before that, what is my favorite strategy to use as a 4th grader to help you with just about everything? Division, multiplication, fractions, anything. Wyatt, listing multiples. Now, I have kind of, tossed around the idea, what is the best way for me to advise you to list your multiples? I'm telling you, you guys should be looking at me. I'm telling you, the bottom half of this reference sheet is your friend. Use this bottom portion to list multiples. Because if you have to list multiples for number 3, you have to list multiples of 5 or 6, let's say, for number 3. And then number 17 has a question where it's talking about 6s as well. I don't want you to have to list 6s 12 times. I want you to list them once. Add on to your reference sheet. List your multiples on your reference sheet. Now, do not list all of your multiples before you even start the test. Okay? Don't do that. That's a waste of time because you might not need 7s anywhere on your test. You might not need 7s anywhere on your test. And so you don't want to list multiples of 7s if you don't need it. You don't want to take the time to do that because you don't have a lot of time. Okay? So, but when you have to do 353 divided by 6, list your multiples of 6 right here on the bottom of your chart, your reference sheet. That way, if number 23 you need 6s, it's already right there. Okay? Multiples should go at the bottom of your reference sheet. Now, let's talk about the rest of this. You're going to have 2 other papers of scrap paper. Okay? Yes, question about the reference sheet. Okay. When you do, you're working out a question. So we're going to have number 1, 22 times 14. What am I going to draw for 22 times 14, Jalen? I'm going to draw an area model. I'm going to draw a box like this. I'm going to have 20 and 2, 10 and 4. Plus signs here, right? 20 times 2, 10 times 4. So I'm going to do my multiplication. 20 times 10, 2, 88. 20, 80, 28. What are these called? Partial products. What do we do with them? We add them. 8 and 12. 22 times 14 equals 128. Okay.
Math break starts.
Okay. Now, I've done my work here. And look, this is for number 1. Once my work is complete, I'm going to box this in. Now, you're not going to have to take up that much space because this is a strange paper and my pen doesn't go down far enough, okay? Yours is going to be much smaller. But here's what I want you to, the reason for this is because when I ask you to go back and check your work, I am not asking you to go and see if you have answered the questions or not. Okay, I have something marked for number 1. I have something marked for number 2. I chose letter C for number 3. I put a number in number 4. That's not what I mean. Miss Faust, when you guys try to turn in your paper, does she tell you to go back and check your work?
Yes.
She tell you that? Okay, thank you, go back and check your work, right? Thank you, go back and check your work.
Yes.
What that means is you need to go back to your mathematical thoughts and check them. Raise your hand if you've ever seen me make a mathematical mistake in here before. If I've ever said 3 times 2 is 5. Maybe I've never said that, but why would I say that? 3 times 2 is 5. Why would I think that 3 times 2 is 5?
Because 3 plus 2 equals 5, but not 3 times 2 is 9.
There you go. And that would be a pretty simple mistake to make, right?
Yeah.
Pretty simple error. When I go and I check my work, I go on here and I say, I'm going to look. Okay, number 1. My answer for number 1 was 128. Okay, I'm going to check that. I'm going to check it. So, here I go. 20. Because, do you guys think I'm right?
No.
Why not? Does anyone see an error? Okay, put your hands down. The way that you do that is you think to yourself, 128? Well, I know that 4 quarters equals $1, and that's 25 times 4 equals 100. So if I have 25 times 4 equals 100, 14 groups of 22, that does not make sense. So I'm going to go back to the problem that is boxed in for number 1, and I'm going to check my work. Okay. 20 times 10.
Equals 200.
2, 0. Oh, there's my problem. I need 2 zeros right here. That's going to make this. My whole answer is wrong now. So I have an 8, 10. Oh, whoopsie. My answer's not 128 at all. My answer should be 308. You won't know that if you just go back to number 1 and be like, oh, perfect. I put 128 in the box. I answered it. Moving on. No, that's not what I say when I say check your work. I mean, check the work you have done. Did you multiply correctly? Did you add correctly? Did you divide correctly? Check your work. Then, number 2 may not need any work. You may not have work for number 2, and that's okay. Do you have to show work if it says label these angles as acute, obtuse, or right? There's no work to show there, right? There's no work there, and that's fine. So what about this? So let's say number 4. 4, I'm going to put my work here. I'm going to box it in. 6, I'm going to put my work here, and I'm going to box it in here. 12, I don't have any more work until 12, right? Show your work and box it in so that when you go back to check your work, you can find the work for number 4. So that you can find your work for number 4. You can find your work for number 6. Does that make sense to everyone? Yes? This is how I want you to do your scratch paper. You can use the front and the back of both notebook sheets, and then you can also use the back of your reference sheet if you need to. I think there's like 25 problems on this on both days. Okay? Both days you're going to get a clean notebook paper and a clean reference sheet. Yes.
Is it the 8 and 10's place?
Yes, that's very poor alignment, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, it's very poor alignment. Great. Good catch. Yeah, what I should have done if I had time, I should have erased all this and rewritten it. But I'm not going through all that. Okay. Open up your Chromebooks, please, to a new Google tab. Yes.
Can I say the I don't know if you mentioned this or not because I know you have when you're not recording, but I would read it like other than just like going back to read, I would read it in one.
Yeah, if you have time. Okay, in the search bar, I want you to type Ohio Air Test. Search. Ohio Air Test. Once you do that, you should see these search results. Ohio State Test, Ohio Assessment System. Click on that, very top one. You should see this box. Click on Students and Families. Students and Families. And then click on the Student Practice Site. This should take you to a thing that we're very familiar with. All right. Once you do that, where am I here? Just 1 second. Probably will after we're done. PYQ XLG. PYQ XLG. Here we go. I want you to click the bicycle and get in. Are you in?
Yeah.
See this screen right here? Click sign in. Sign in. Grade level number 4. And then we are right here on Spring 19 release items. Click Spring 19 release items. This pulls you up the tools. You're not going to mess with these. Click select. Audio video checks. On Wednesday, we will do the actual check. Today, you just click down and click where it says I heard the voice. Yes, good deal. Continue. Scroll down to the blue. That's ELA, man. That's ELA. Back up. Tanner. That's ELA. Sign in. 4th grade. Scroll down. Math. Look, that says ELA. All right. Once you have select, click down, click I heard the voice. Click continue. Now begin test now. Okay. We're going to play. Today is the day to play, as I have already said. Here we go. You are on number 1. You should see these tools. I want you to look in the top left corner, and you know how to use this tool. Next, save, pause, this part right here. I'm great, Perry. Thanks for asking. Appreciate it, man. My man. He's always there for me. This part right here. I want you know how to use these circles here, right? I want you to click on this little button here that says items. Click on items. And notice how when you click on that, you have a number and you should have at least one number with a triangle. That means, it tells you right there, this symbol indicates unanswered items. So that means you haven't answered number 2 yet. You can use that items button to help you keep track of what you have and have not finished. Okay? Go down here to these buttons. They're on the top left-hand side. This is where it starts getting interesting. Click that masking button and play around with that for a minute. What does that do? Press that button and then go down and draw some boxes in there. Don't draw a whole bunch because then you have to delete them because we're going to be on number 1 for a while. This masks something you don't want to see. If you need to mask something for some reason, this is the tool you will use for that. Okay, delete all your masks buttons. Turn off the masking tool by clicking the masking button again. When it is orange, it is engaged, right? When it is not orange, it has been disengaged.
Yellow, math break, silver, pink, math break starts.
Next, click where it says formulas. That formulas button, what does that pull up?
Oh,
There's your reference sheet. Yeah, there's your reference sheet. So you have it online and you're going to have it in paper. Very nice. There's your reference sheet. Okay, click the notes box, notes button, X out of your reference sheet. This is where you can just type notes in there. These notes are not private, so they will be seen, they will be read, but they will not be scored. So they won't be graded. So if you type in some amazing note on question 1 that totally answers the question, but you didn't answer the question right on the problem, it doesn't matter. Okay? So I can't think of a reason why you would need to type notes in the notes section. It would just be a waste of time, I think. I mean, they put it on there for a reason, so they must have a reason. But I can't think of why you would need that. What? So, next, line reader.
Lucky.
Line reader. Click on line reader.
I've done this.
Yeah.
What?
When you click on line reader, it kind of turns the whole screen black except for the selections. That's something that you can use if it would benefit you.
I used the one don't click any answers.
That will illuminate the words and kind of blacken the rest of the screen. So that's what the line reader does. And then you have those zoom in, zoom out buttons. You can kind of play around with those for a brief moment.
Yay!
So, remember, today is the day to play. Wednesday, when you come in here, I want you to be ready to focus. I want you to be so confident that you walk in here and you're like, girl, I got this. I got this, girl. I'm ready. I'm ready. And here's the reason why you should be able to say, girl, I got this. When I ask you if you're ready, because there should be very few items on this test that you look at and you think to yourself, whoa, I have never seen anything like that before. Okay? Now, I'm not telling you it's not going to be hard. It is going to be hard. It's going to be very hard. But if you will read slowly and carefully, none of it is anything you can't do. If you will think carefully, none of it is something that you cannot do, that you could not accomplish. You can do it. I have given you all the tools I know how to give. All right? All right, next. Click on this little settings gear. I want to point something out to you that I didn't realize. Remember how I told you that whatever pitch and rate you choose, that is what it is? And you can't fix it? Well, you can fix it, but don't play around with it. Today is the day to play. Wednesday is serious business. Wednesday is the day to focus and to show off.
Show off.
Like you would show off at a baseball game. You've been practicing. Now it's time to show off and show all that you know. And you have learned a lot. And I am confident in you. And I am excited for you guys to show what you know. Okay? And then the little question mark.
Pink, math break, silver.
Click that little question mark.
Wait. Exactly what you're doing. What? I see it. Oh, it's by sentence. What time is it? Ooh. There's a calculator.
The calculator, what does it say? It says grades 6 through 8.
Oh,
You don't really need all that stuff. I'm just showing you what it is so that on Wednesday, you're not playing, you're straight to work. This just explains the test to you. It explains to you how to do it. That's all it is.
6 through 8.
Yep.
You do this how you too?
Yeah.
You think that's his like you do those entire
Okay. On number 1, stay right where you are. I want you to, these 3 little buttons, these are the tools that are going to be available to you for each question. They're the ones that could possibly change. Okay? So open up that toolbox right there, those 3 little lines, and look where it says tutorial. Click that button. Click where it says tutorial.
seriously?
Yeah. Tutorial for a matching item. First, read and follow the instructions on the screen. It gives you a tutorial of how to answer this type of question.
That question.
As if you need such a thing, but there is no excuse. There's no excuse for why you should not be successful. Yes.
This should be an easy. A bat lives in the water.
It's just telling you how to answer the questions. That's right. Look where it, oh, I like this next one. So X out of the tutorial. X out of the tutorial. Tutorial takes a lot of time. And so if you're going to sit and watch a bunch of tutorials, you're going to waste a lot of your time. You only have 75 minutes, which is 1 hour and 15 minutes. It's 15 minutes less than the ELA test. You only have 75 minutes. So you do not have an excruciatingly long period of time to do this. It's only 1 hour and 15 minutes, and that's it.
We only had 90 minutes because we had to type
Every
it.
second counts.
I know. So click on where it says flag or mark for review. Click that, mark it. Now go back up and click items again. Top left, items. Now it has a flag. That means, oh, on question number 1, I need to go back and look at that one again because I was unsure about question number 1. So that's what the flag would be. You need to go back and review that. Question number 1 is going to be tricky. I need to go back and look at question number 1 again. And then you can remove the flag if you want. All right. Other tool there, it says speak question. You can have it speak the question to you. Look at the highlight question, or what does it say? Highlight selection. You can.
Yeah.
What you do is you take your mouse and you go and you like, it'll be in blue, I think. You like select this in blue. And then you click the button, and then you click the highlight, and then you can highlight it from there. You can also right-click. You can highlight it. Then you can erase the highlight, reset the highlight, revert the highlight, whatever those words are. Yes.
Ooh. Mine doesn't do any. Mine doesn't do
I'm listening, Lily.
If you have a triangle on like question 2, but you're on question and you're on like the last question and it's supposed to like do you like make sure you like check the word? Can you click on those the ones that have it on it?
Yes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. We'll try it in a minute. Remind me to have you flag one here in a minute. Yes.
I have a question. I can highlight that. Actually, if you highlight that and you don't know the word and you don't want to read it to me, you can highlight that.
Yeah. Oh, you can. It says speak selection.
Yeah, what if
Highlight that.
and then
Oh, it can just speak one word to you.
if you don't know how to say it.
Oh, yeah. That's good. All right. Number 2. This is just showing you that you would put an answer in the box. That's all that is. Number 3. Okay. Here are some new tools. These are new. We haven't had these yet in the little 3 lines. We have that strike through tool. Then you can speak the option or speak the question. They'll read the whole question to you. Grace showed us something really cool. Hold on, wait, let me come back here. Grace showed us something really cool where you can go back here. You can, let's say I don't know what this word is. I can highlight this word. Then, I just highlight that word. Then I can go over and click highlight this word. Then I can go over here and click speak selection, and it will read just that word to me if I don't know that word. So if you don't know this word, you can just read just that word, and then you can say, okay, stop speaking. Shut up, I'm done. Right? Click here, speak selection, or you can read the whole question to you, all right? Next, when you come here, speak option. That means it's going to read to you all these options down here. It's going to read you these options, okay? Strike through. You can click this and strike through a question that you want. So we know it says the number is between 20 and 30. So we can confidently say that number 35 is not the answer, right? We know that for sure. That's what that button is for. All right? What else we got on here? Oh, do you guys want to play with that for a minute?
Yes.
Okay, give it a shot. Play. Today's the day to play. We got to hustle. We got a few short minutes.
Are we on to answer questions?
Go. Let me try.
Are you allowed to answer the questions? I did. Are we allowed to just answer questions?
Class?
Yes.
Look at my board. Here are my items. I have number 3 answered. I have all of these unanswered. I have number 8 flagged. And so, I'm going to go to the one I flagged because right now I'm on number 2. I'm going to pull down these items. I'm going to go to the number, see, look at this arrow. See how this has an arrow? That means I'm on number 2 right now, right? You guys have to be looking at my board if you have any clue what I'm talking about. I'm on number 2 right now. I'm going to go over here to the one I have flagged and click on it, and that will just take me right to my flagged question. And this one is tricky, so you probably would flag it. Look here. Here it is, marked for review. You want to unmark it? Unmark review item. Okay, I figured it out. I'm done with that one. Right? All right. Here's a multiple choice question. Okay, go to number 5, please. Go to number 5. I want you to play with these buttons up here. Notice how when you click these buttons, these blue words appear down here. I want you to look at that.
Yeah.
Look at my screen.
Whoa.
What do you notice about my screen?
Wait,
It's not.
What do you notice, Summer?
It's long and you just making lines everywhere. And you can just use add arrow instead of just keep like add arrow.
Yeah, we have all of these dots now. And if I don't get rid of all of them, what's going to happen? What's going to happen to me, John?
You're gonna get in trouble.
Well, I'm not going to get in trouble necessarily. I'm going to get this one wrong. I'm going to get this one wrong. So now I'm going to add my arrow. I'm going to click here. 0, 135. There we go. That's what I want it to look like right there.
Oh yeah, I got it.
That's what it looks like. Okay? Let's go to number 14.
How many questions are there?
25 each day.
Yeah, there's 25 on this one.
Just a second ago, I saw that rubber band fly. Yeah, these are the black rubber.
I'll take it. Thank you very much. No problem. Okay, boys and girls, I want to show you something on here. working with a clock. The minute hand has to come all the way out. If you're wondering which is the long hand and which is the short hand, the diagram tells you. Whatever you're trying to calculate minutes goes all the way out to the outside. It's the long hand. Whatever you're trying to calculate hours goes onto this blue one. Okay? Whoopsie. So, and look here, if I click it right here, it doesn't do it. So I'm going to delete this dot point. If I click it here, see how it jumped it up to the hour? And I click it here, see how it jumped it up to the minute? So it'll take care of that for you. You're going to put it all the way to the blue line for the hour and to the black line for the minute. Okay? Does anybody have any questions? Any questions? This concludes your day to play and ask questions about the tools. All the different tools you can use on this test. All right? All right. If you don't have any questions, I want you to go back and flag some questions and then click the items button and unflag them and then go back or once you flag them, go to them and then go unflag them. Okay? This concludes our recording for today.